Imagine a world where kidney dialysis is obsolete, all thanks to a groundbreaking development in agriculture. Discover how scientists have engineered a special rice that not only cures proteinuria, but might eliminate the need for dialysis machines forever. Kidney diseases pose a significant health burden worldwide, affecting millions of people who rely on dialysis for survival. This treatment, though life-saving, is both costly and demanding, tying patients to regular lengthy sessions just to mimic the natural functions of healthy kidneys. Enter a revolutionary scientific breakthrough: genetically modified rice engineered specifically to treat proteinuria, a common precursor to chronic kidney disease. This innovation has stirred a mix of skepticism and excitement within the scientific community and beyond. While the idea of using food as medicine is not new, the concept of a staple crop that can potentially render dialysis obsolete is a radical shift in treatment paradigms, promising a more accessible and less invasive alternative to current kidney disease management. The journey to create a rice capable of treating proteinuria began over a decade ago, spearheaded by a diverse team of geneticists, nephrologists, and agricultural scientists. The idea was initially met with skepticism. How could a staple food, modified or not, address a complex health issue like kidney disease? Yet, the potential to radically change patient care fueled their pursuit. The team started by identifying the specific proteins and genetic markers associated with kidney health. They hypothesized that by enhancing the rice with genes that could produce these proteins, they might stimulate the body's natural ability to combat the effects of proteinuria. This involved intricate genetic engineering, the kind that had been used in crops to resist pests or improve yield, but never before for direct disease treatment. Early laboratory trials involved genetically modifying rice strains to express these key proteins. The first few iterations failed. Either the rice didn't grow well or the protein levels were too low to have any therapeutic effect. It was a delicate balance to engineer a plant that could survive agriculturally and still perform medically. A major breakthrough came when the team collaborated with a biotech firm specializing in farming, using plants to produce pharmaceuticals. Together, they developed a new insertion technique that allowed the rice to produce high enough levels of the therapeutic proteins without compromising its growth or edibility. This eureka moment came after many painstaking trials, highlighting the resilience and dedication of the team. With a successful prototype grown, the next challenge was scaling production. The rice needed to be grown in a controlled environment to maintain its therapeutic properties. This led to innovations in agricultural practices, tailored specifically for medicinal crops, setting a precedent for future pharmaceutical farming. As the project moved from lab to field, the implications of their work began to crystallize. Not only could this rice potentially eliminate the need for dialysis for patients with proteinuria, but it also opened the door to using genetically modified crops to address other diseases. The economic implications were vast too, possibly reducing the healthcare burden of kidney disease dramatically around the world. Yet, with the development phase complete, a critical question remained. But how did they prove that it actually worked? The clinical trials for the genetically modified rice were set up as a multi-phase process to meticulously evaluate its safety and efficacy. The first phase focused on safety, ensuring that the rice did not cause any adverse effects in healthy volunteers. Following this, Phase 2 involved participants who were already suffering from early-stage proteinuria. These trials were designed to be double-blind and placebo-controlled, the gold standard for clinical research, to ensure that the results were unbiased and reproducible. Participants were carefully selected to represent a diverse cross-section of the population typically affected by kidney diseases, including varying ages, ethnicities, and underlying health conditions. This diversity was crucial to understanding how different bodies might react to the treatment. Each participant was required to replace a portion of their regular diet with the modified rice, measured to ensure precise dosing based on their body weight and overall health. The initial skepticism from the medical community was palpable. Many clinicians were doubtful that a dietary intervention could significantly impact a condition traditionally managed with intensive medical treatments like dialysis or medication. This skepticism was mirrored in the rigorous debates surrounding the trial's design and the ethical considerations of using genetically modified organisms, GMOs, for treatment. As the trials progressed, the results began to speak volumes. Participants in the treatment group showed a significant reduction in protein levels in their urine, a direct indicator of improving kidney function compared to the placebo group. Furthermore, several biomarkers associated with kidney stress and damage also improved, suggesting not just a symptomatic treatment, but a physiological enhancement in kidney health. More profound were the longitudinal results. Over 6 months, the participants continued to show improvement, and none of the typical side effects associated with current proteinuria treatments, such as gastrointestinal issues or severe metabolic imbalances, were observed. These outcomes provided compelling evidence of the rice's potential as a viable alternative to existing therapies. The end of the trial phase brought a mixture of astonishment and renewed skepticism, but the data was undeniable. The rice had not only proven effective, but had also opened up a new frontier in the treatment of kidney disease through dietary intervention. Yet, this left the medical community and the world at large pondering a significant question. What does this mean for the future of kidney treatment? The successful clinical trials of the genetically modified rice designed to treat proteinuria have set the stage for profound implications across healthcare, economics, and global access to medical treatment. If adopted widely, this rice could drastically reduce the reliance on traditional dialysis treatments, which are not only invasive and costly, but also limit the quality of life for millions of patients globally. From a healthcare perspective, this rice offers a shift towards a more preventive and maintenance-oriented approach to kidney health. By integrating this treatment into the daily diet, it could potentially delay or even prevent the progression of kidney disease to stages that require dialysis or transplantation, thereby reducing the overall burden on healthcare systems. Furthermore, as a non-invasive treatment, it could significantly decrease hospital visits and the associated healthcare costs, freeing up resources for other critical areas of medicine. Economically, the implications are equally significant. Dialysis is a major expense for healthcare systems, particularly in countries with high prevalence rates of kidney disease. The U.S. alone spends over $35 billion annually on dialysis-related treatments. Reducing this expense could redirect substantial financial resources towards other underfunded health initiatives, such as mental health services or infectious disease control, potentially improving overall healthcare outcomes. However, the introduction of this rice into global markets is not without challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is regulatory approval. Genetically modified foods, especially those used for medical purposes, undergo rigorous scrutiny to ensure they are safe for widespread consumption. This process can be lengthy and expensive, possibly delaying the availability of the rice to those who need it most. Moreover, the global access to this treatment could be uneven. Developing countries, where kidney disease often goes undiagnosed until it is critically advanced, might face challenges in adopting advanced agricultural technologies required to grow such a specialized crop. There would need to be a concerted effort to ensure that these innovations reach the populations that need them the most, possibly requiring collaborations between governments, NGOs, and the private sector to build the necessary infrastructure. Looking to the future, Further developments could include adaptations of this technology to treat other diseases, potentially leading to a new era of edible medicines that could treat a range of conditions from diabetes to hypertension. This could revolutionize the pharmaceutical field, leading to more natural, less chemically based treatments. However, such a paradigm shift in treatment approaches could face significant resistance from established pharmaceutical companies, which currently dominate the market for chronic disease management drugs. These companies might see genetically modified therapeutic foods as a threat to their business models, potentially leading to pushback both in terms of lobbying against regulatory approval and influencing public opinion through marketing strategies. As these dynamics unfold, the question remains, could this rice face resistance from big pharmaceutical companies? This looming confrontation could shape the future of how diseases are treated worldwide. The development of genetically modified rice capable of treating proteinuria introduces several ethical considerations and has elicited varied reactions from the public. At the heart of the ethical debate is the manipulation of genetic material in food, which raises concerns about long-term impacts on human health and the environment. Critics argue that tampering with nature could have unforeseen consequences, while proponents emphasize the potential to solve significant health issues with such innovations. Public reaction to eating genetically altered food for health benefits is mixed. Some segments of the population are enthusiastic about the potential to manage or even cure chronic conditions through dietary changes alone, viewing it as a more natural alternative to pharmaceuticals. Others, however, are wary of consuming genetically modified organisms, GMOs, concerned about potential allergenicity, gene transfer, or other health impacts. This skepticism is partly fueled by the ongoing debates and misinformation surrounding GMO foods in general, which have been contentious since their introduction. The scientific community itself is divided. While many researchers and healthcare professionals acknowledge the groundbreaking nature of the rice, they also call for rigorous long-term studies to fully understand its effects not only on individual health, but also on ecological systems. Questions about bioethics, consent, and the right to choose between genetically modified and non-modified foods are prevalent. There is also the issue of labeling. How should such products be marked? Should people be informed explicitly that their rice is not just a staple in their diet, but also a medical treatment? Moreover, there are significant discussions about equity and access. If this rice proves to be a viable alternative to dialysis, who gets access to it? Is it affordable? Will it be available worldwide, or only in affluent countries? These questions highlight the need for policies that ensure fair access to genetic technologies, preventing a scenario where only the wealthy benefit from scientific advances. In addition to health and access issues, environmental impacts are a concern. The cultivation of genetically modified crops on a large scale could potentially lead to biodiversity loss and the unintended harm to non-target species. The balance between benefiting human health and preserving ecological integrity is a delicate one. Amid all these debates, the broader question of societal acceptance looms large. The introduction of such a product tests the boundaries of traditional medical treatment and public health policy. It challenges societal norms about medicine, technology, and the role of nature in human health. As this rice moves closer to becoming a common treatment, it provokes a fundamental inquiry into how far society is willing to go in embracing genetic engineering for health benefits. With all these considerations at play, one cannot help but wonder, will society embrace or reject this scientific marvel? The answer to this question will shape not only the future of healthcare, but also the ethical landscape of genetic engineering and public trust in science. The path to gaining regulatory approval for genetically modified rice designed to treat proteinuria is fraught with complexities. regulatory bodies worldwide have stringent requirements for the approval of genetically modified organisms, GMOs, especially when they are intended for medical purposes. These regulations are designed to ensure safety and efficacy, but can vary significantly from one country to another, creating a labyrinthine legal landscape for manufacturers. In the United States, for example, such a product would need to pass the scrutiny of several federal agencies, including the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and the Department of Agriculture, USDA. Each has its own set of requirements and tests, from environmental impact assessments to clinical safety trials. The FDA, in particular, would require detailed clinical trial data to demonstrate that the rice is safe and effective for its intended use. This process can be lengthy and costly, often taking several years and millions of dollars in research and development. European Union regulations are similarly rigorous, with an added layer of public consultation and the requirement for clear labeling of GMO products. The European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, would evaluate the rice for health risks, while environmental assessments would scrutinize the impact of its cultivation on biodiversity and ecosystems. The public's generally more skeptical stance towards GMOs in Europe could further complicate the approval process, requiring additional efforts in public education and transparency. The potential legal battles and lobbying efforts represent another significant hurdle. Dialysis companies, whose business models could be threatened by an effective, less expensive alternative, might engage in lobbying against the approval of the rice or in favor of stringent regulations that could stymie its adoption. These companies have substantial resources and established influence in political circles, which could be used to sway opinion through campaigns that emphasize the risks of GMOs or question the efficacy of the rice. Moreover, the struggle to gain acceptance in the medical field cannot be underestimated. Medical professionals tend to be conservative in adopting new treatments, particularly when they involve a radical departure from established protocols like dialysis. Gaining the trust of these professionals requires not only robust clinical evidence, but also efforts to educate and involve them in the rollout of new treatments. This involves presenting data at medical conferences, publishing in journals, and perhaps most importantly, addressing any concerns they might have about long-term effects or ethical issues. Additionally, there could be challenges related to patent law and intellectual property, especially if multiple entities are involved in the development of the rice. Ensuring that the rights to the technology are clearly defined and protected is crucial to motivate further investment and development. However, this also raises concerns about access and affordability, as patents can restrict generic versions of biotech products from entering the market quickly. Each of these legal and regulatory challenges could delay or even prevent the rice from becoming widely available, despite its potential benefits. The process of navigating these hurdles is not only a matter of science and medicine, but also of legal acumen and strategic lobbying. As this revolutionary product moves closer to the marketplace, its journey highlights the intricate dance between innovation, law, and ethics in the quest to bring new treatments to those who need them most. The development of genetically modified rice capable of treating proteinuria represents a significant leap forward in medical science and agricultural biotechnology. This innovation has the potential to transform the lives of millions of people worldwide who are currently dependent on dialysis, a treatment that is not only physically draining, but also financially burdensome. By integrating the treatment into a daily staple like rice, we are on the brink of making healthcare more accessible, affordable, and less invasive. This rice stands as a testament to the power of scientific ingenuity and cross-disciplinary collaboration. It challenges the traditional boundaries of medicine, offering a glimpse into a future where food is not only nourishment but also medicine. The implications of such a development are profound, potentially reducing the global burden of kidney disease, lowering healthcare costs, and increasing the quality of life for patients and their families. However, the journey from lab to plate is complex and fraught with challenges. Regulatory hurdles, legal battles, and the need for acceptance within the medical community and the public at large are significant obstacles that need to be navigated carefully. Moreover, the ethical, environmental, and economic implications of widespread adoption of such genetically modified crops must be thoughtfully addressed. As this revolutionary development unfolds, there is a crucial need for active participation from all sectors of society. Patients, healthcare providers, policymakers, and the general public must engage in this conversation. Advocacy for rigorous but fair regulatory processes is essential to ensure that this innovative treatment can reach those in need without undue delay. Education and outreach are also crucial in dispelling myths and misinformation about genetically modified foods, especially those designed for therapeutic purposes. It is also vital for the public to stay informed about the progress and developments surrounding this rice. Understanding its benefits, risks, and the science behind it will help individuals make informed decisions and foster a supportive environment for such innovations. This is not just about adopting a new kind of treatment, but about shifting paradigms in how we view and manage health and disease. Let us then imagine a future where such innovations are not exceptions, but norms. A future where science and technology work hand in hand to not only treat but prevent disease through everyday choices like the food we eat. We are on the cusp of a new era in healthcare and agriculture, one that promises greater equity in health access and sustainability in treatment options. In conclusion, the potential of this genetically modified rice to change lives is immense, but realizing this potential will require the collective effort and will of a global community. Whether through advocacy, continued education, or simply by staying informed, your participation in this unfolding story is crucial. Join in shaping a future where such scientific marvels are embraced and utilized to their fullest potential, improving lives and transforming our approach to health and wellness.